I thank the witnesses for coming in, and the very first speaker asked you about fees for the likes of search and rescue and for the likes of suicide watch, also which use the waterways and doing a job. Is there, for those people that are doing an essential service for the people and trying to save lives, is there a fee going to be told on them?
No, Deputy, there'll be no fee for people who are in search and rescue.
Or suicide watch, or any ones there that are actually helping keep the waterways safe?
If they're on a boat, for example, in Limerick City, there's a really good service around suicide watch. They're two, sorry, and they're on land in the main, but they do have a boat on our, which we have provided at our facility in Limerick for the search and rescue and the suicide watch. So there is no fee, there's no permit fee associated with that activity. Definitely.
And my second question is, based on the fees that have gone from 126 to 200 euros, is that going to be across the board, or is that are the fees going to change like Salins? Are they going to change in Limerick? Are they going to change in each individual district? Why is Salins going to be 2,500?
There are two separate permits, Deputy. One permit is for use of the navigations, increasing from, as you say, from 127 to 200 euro. The second permit is a specific permit for houseboats that will be attached to a location, and there are 5 different types of location. There are the urban location, i.e. Dublin. There's suburban serviced and suburban unserviced sites, and then there's rural serviced and rural unserviced sites.
So what we're looking at, so at the moment, the rural unserviced sites, you're looking at 1,500.
Rural unserviced, 500.
500. Then you're going up along where the service sites, so you're going to raise the funds on up along as it comes to the different places that you have services. I'm not a boating person. I am a tourist person. I'd like to see people coming in.
Yes.
And I'd like to see people to dock in, and which supports the economy. But from listening to a boating person, they only request a place for pumping storage if they are able to supply their own energy services. Is there not a system where if somebody doesn't require electricity, if somebody doesn't require any of the other services that you have, only a pumping station, is there something in that you can actually say, I don't request this, and the fees come down?
The way we've structured the fees is exactly as you say, Deputy. There's a fee for unserviced sites in the 2 locations, rural and suburban, and there's a different fee for serviced sites. So if you require no services and all you want to do is have a houseboat permit that gives you certain rights, the fee for that in a rural unserviced area is 500 euro. The balancing act that we're trying to provide here is to keep our navigations as true navigations for navigation purposes, i.e. that people want to travel our wonderful waterways. What we are really conscious of is the situation that some of the English canals have found themselves in, where they're choked and true navigation is no longer possible. So it's a balancing act that we're trying to achieve. There will be a limit to the number of houseboat locations and houseboat permits, and we've structured in such a way, Deputy, that we have a tiered approach to the permit fees that are required. And
I have few people that are actually living on boats for the last 20 or 30 years in locations where they are. So if they were on land, living on land here in Ireland, they'd have rights that they can stay where they are, and there's nothing that they can be done. Does the same thing apply for if somebody's on the waterways for the last 20 or 30 years in the same location? What rights do they have now if these bylaws come in?
We're into legal rights here around adverse possession of property, etc., etc. But in general, Deputy, the sites that we are currently identifying as suitable for houseboat locations, which we will consult with our partners in both the local authority sectors and indeed with boaters, we will try in as far as possible and subject to planning, getting through the planning process, we will try and as far as possible to locate those houseboat facilities at or adjacent to where we have existing houseboat communities.
So you'll have respect for the existing locations as much as possible.
As much as possible.
You'll have to come up with a different arrangement for people.
Yes.
As one of Brian has spoken there earlier, I believe there's a commitment from you today that you will extend the 108 days, because personally myself, I was off for summer, I was sick, but there was a lot of other people in the tourist industry that would, at their peak season, like has been said by other speakers, that this came out in the middle of a peak season. I know if I was in the middle of my season, this would probably be the last thing that's on my mind, because I'd be busy trying to make a few euros to keep my business afloat at these troubling times, rather than somebody can be actually off looking for bylaws for 108 days. So I think I'm open to it as well, that this will be extended. I would like to see that you will come back to us in writing how much you are willing to extend it.
Okay.
And coming back to the committee, like others have spoken as well, I'm looking forward to that, to be educated on the water services. Thank you.